Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Well, today I'm going to talk about the result of professional boxing fight, the problem child versus the chosen one. Before that, subscribe the channel, give your comments, like and share the video, okay? So, 29th August, there was professional boxing fight between Jake Paul, the problem child, and Tyron Woodley, the chosen one. Well, Tyron Woodley had his first professional boxing fight. We're talking about the chosen one, a former UFC welterweight champion of the world. He's a retired mixed martial artist and he made his debut in professional boxing. But we are talking about a good striker because Tyron Woodley won many fights with his boxing skills, with his punches, We cannot say the same about Ben Askren, for example. We're talking about a mixed martial artist too, an MMA fighter. And Ben Askren had some fights in UFC too. And Jake Paul, it was his fourth professional boxing fight. 3 wins by knockout. And this fight was 8 rounds. So 8 rounds of 3 minutes. And final result was victory to Jake Paul by split decision of the judges. Well, there are always 3 judges. And, well, one of them, he gave 77 points to Jake Paul against 75 of Woodley. The other judge, well, it was the opposite. So the same numbers, 77, 75, but victory to Tyron Woodley. And the third judge, well, 78 points to Jake Paul against 74 points Tyron Woodley. Well, and I'm going to explain why this happens. So why these numbers, okay? Why these numbers? Well, we're talking about a professional boxing fight of 8 rounds, okay? And the winner of the round, so 3 minutes fighting, so the winner of the round earns 10 points. So 10 points to the winner of the round. And 9 points to the loser of the round. But of course, we are talking about a fight, this professional boxing fight, with no knockdowns, okay? So, nobody went to the canvas here, okay? 24 minutes, 8 rounds, boxing, and nobody went to the canvas. So, no knockdowns, because if there is a knockdown, well, the loser loses 1 point. So, for example, if there was a knockdown, it's 10-8, 10-8 in the round. And of course, if there is some illegal blow or some fall, well, of course, 1 or 2 points less for the boxer that did that, you know. But that wasn't the case. So, first round, the first two rounds, well, Jake Paul won. Jake Paul won 10-9. The third round, well, there's something that it's not unanimous here because there were judges that gave the round to Jake Paul and the judge that gave the round to Tyron Woodley. Okay, the same scoreboard, 10-9. And the fourth round, well, this was very clear. Tyron Woodley won. Tyron Woodley won the fourth round. Well, it was in this round that he almost hit the knockdown, you know, because, well, Tyron Woodley hit Jake Paul, and Jake Paul went to the ropes. So he fell to the ropes. He didn't go to the canvas, but he almost went to the canvas. So the fifth, sixth, and seventh rounds to Jake Paul, and the last round, the eighth and last round, well, it was won by the chosen one, Tyron Woodley. So, and if you add, so 10 points, more, you add 10 for the many rounds, you will reach the final score of the judges. So 77-75, Jake Paul, 77-75, Tyron Woodley, and 78-74, Jake Paul. So the winner by split decision, Jake Paul. Well, there was some people that say, well, wasn't fair, but we can see the statistics, okay? The statistics. Okay, let's go. Jake Paul, 71 total punches. Total punches. Jake Paul, 71 landed, 71 punches landed of 207 that Paul tried, and 22 to the body. So this is a percentage of 34.3%. Okay? But of course we can talk about the jabs, okay? Let's talk about the jabs. 36 jabs landed, 9 to the body, with 122 tries. Well, power punches. So power punches are all the punches except the jab, okay? So it can be straight punches, hooks to the body, uppercuts, overhands. Well, power punches, 35 landed, 13 to the body, well, in 85 tries, okay? But let's talk about the chosen one, Tyron Woodley. Total punches, 52 landed, 52 landed, 6 to the body. So 163 tries. So we're talking about a percentage of 41.9%. So in this case, Jake Paul won too. Jabs. Well, Tyron Woodley, only 11 jabs. Only 11 jabs. He tried 48 times. 48 times he tried, but he just landed, Tyron Woodley just landed 11 jabs. We're talking about, well, a little bit more than one jab per round. So it's not, it's a low percentage. But power punches, here Tyron Woodley very well. Power punches, 41 power punches landed, 3 to the body, and he tried 115 times. So here, this is very clear. Jake Paul landed more punches than Tyron Woodley. That's a fact. But Tyron Woodley landed more power punches than Jake Paul. Total 71 Jake Paul, 52 Tyron Woodley. But as power punches is concerned, Tyron Woodley 41, Jake Paul 35. Well, but we're talking about boxing, right? And the jab, well, is used a lot because that's what it is. We're talking about boxing. Of course, Tyron Woodley, it was his first professional boxing fight, and he should made something different. But of course, we're talking about MMA fighter, okay? So he used to compete in UFC, so mixed martial arts, and well, he can use a lot of techniques, like the kicks, like elbows, knees, like takedowns, submissions, a lot of techniques, and of course he doesn't use the jab very often, okay, because of course he had a lot of different techniques he can use. So here win Jake Paul won by decision, split decision of the judges, and I think it's fair. I think it's fair. The Jake Paul won, and it was his strategy. Jake Paul, very good footwork here. I saw the fight, and Jake Paul used a lot of footwork to keep the distance. So distance control. He kept the distance very well because he's the bigger guy. He has more reach. So he used that for his advantage very well. He used a lot the jab. Okay, he used a lot the jab to go the distance, to go to the distance. Used a lot of jab, some combos. He used some combos, good combos, and of course, Tyron Woodley protected himself very well with the double block, okay, the front block. It was very used to Tyron Woodley because Tyron Woodley was the smaller guy here. Like Floyd Mayweather, for example. Floyd Mayweather was the smaller guy against Logan Paul, Jake Paul's older brother, and the truth is that, of course, if he's the bigger guy, you must protect yourself, and the double block, of course, the hands up, of course, it's the way he used to protect themselves. And this was a different experience to Jake Paul. Why? Because Jake Paul won his other boxing fights in the first rounds. First round, second round, so it was the first time that Jake Paul, well, fought 8 rounds. Was the first time. 8 rounds, 24 minutes. There were some times that we saw Jake Paul a little bit tired, because, well, it was a different experience, a new experience, okay? 8 rounds. And Tyron Woodley, well, had his opportunity, his chance to beat Jake Paul in the 4th round when, well, he connected a power punch, and then Jake Paul fell to the ropes and almost went to the canvas, okay? But almost a knockdown, but there wasn't a knockdown. So Tyron Woodley used more power punches, but he didn't use the jab very much. And the final stats, well, victory to Jake Paul. But at the end of the fight, Tyron Woodley said that he wants a rematch. Tyron Woodley wants a rematch. But Jake Paul said, no, You had your chance. No, but well, Tyron Woodley insisted that he wants the rematch, and Jake Paul said, "Well, if you made the tattoo, I love Jake Paul, then you will have your rematch." So challenge accepted. So Tyron said that, well, he's going to make the tattoo, I love Jake Paul, and he's going to fight again Jake Paul. Maybe next year, we don't know. Let's see what's going to happen. So conclusion: professional boxing fight, 29th August, the problem child versus the chosen one, and the problem child won, Jake Paul won by a split decision of the judges. And I said the stats, and well, the number of rounds won, well, it's so five as rounds is concerned, so 5-3 to Jake Paul or 6-2 to Jake Paul, and of course there are different opinions in the judges, and I'm talking about their decisions, okay? So decisions of the judges. Well, and that's it. This is all for today. See you next time.